And so I instantly went from being, wow, they chose us, to what did we miss? Like, did we really screw something up here? Is there something that I didn't see? Yeah, so I mean, my role, I started as an intern for the Northwoods League in the early mid 2000s, and just working on projects, just really trying to get into baseball. I played baseball, I coached it, loved baseball, and I thought the Northwoods League was fascinating. It was going into former minor league stadiums, bringing this college ball that people didn't really know much about, and just focusing on everything else and focusing on doing it right, and made it really work in these cool ballparks. So I had started as an intern and eventually came back to the league in 2011 to work with the Battle Creek Bombers, a team that was struggling when I got there, had declining attendance, no excitement for the team. The team was the worst team in the league when I got there in 2010. Just a really bad state, which I was, honestly, I always remember this, attach yourself to a disaster because you can make an impact. And so I heard that a long time ago from someone, and that's what I was excited about, to go there and make an impact. And so in 2011, I worked my butt off. Had some really good people come in. We doubled our attendance and won the championship my very first year. And so that just really showed me what, working hard and just putting everything you have into something can do. And it made me believe that I could, believe in myself and turn this thing around in a city like Battle Creek and a team there, that I could kind of do it anywhere, or I thought I could. So that led me, that kind of led us to, around that time when the Kings had left, to where Kalamazoo was coming around.
So, my story started very similar to Brian. I had the opportunity to meet Dick Raditz when I was at Ohio University at the OU program. And so he was my alumni mentor. And so I just, got to know Dick and learn what the Northwoods League was all about. And he said, well, hey, if you ever want a chance to work with me someday, you could maybe run your own team. And I thought, man, I don't know much about this league, but if I could get a shot to run my own team, that'd be awesome. So he said, well, I'm starting a team in Kalamazoo the next season, and I graduated in May. So I actually went up to Battle Creek at first. And so I worked there for the summer and then was going to Kalamazoo. And he said, well, hey, there's a guy that graduated from OU in 09, and he was my mentee too. So I was mentee number 2 and Brian's mentee number 1. He said, this guy's name is Brian Colopy, and he actually is getting his team. He's going to have the chance to own Kalamazoo. So, you help him, you build this up, and then you could get your shot. So I thought, this is awesome. But I really hope I like this Brian Colopy guy, And so I'll never forget, I met Brian. I drove up to Battle Creek, and we, I believe it was in the Arcadia in Battle Creek, if I'm not mistaken. We had lunch and we met for the first time and just kind of talked baseball and talked about Battle Creek and what our goals were going to be in Kalamazoo. And from right then, I mean, if Brian, him and I don't stop talking. We think we're the smartest guys in the world. So we had all these ideas of what we could do and how we could do it differently. And right then I thought, man, this is going to be really fun teaming up with this guy and trying to build something special. So that's how we met. And again, like I said, got started in Battle Creek that summer, and then we went over to Kalamazoo.
Becoming the team in Kalamazoo was actually quite crazy. I remember coming into this room and when there was this RFP process. That's a process where the city put out to any and everyone that wanted to start the team here and basically take over the lease of the ballpark. And so we got here. I think were 5 different groups way bigger than us, professional groups, owned multiple minor league teams. Just, we were the small fish in this meeting. I remember walking in going, oh my God, we're just this, college league, we're not going to get this thing. And so left the meeting, you had to go through this whole process of applying and basically saying why you should be the people to take over this lease. So I worked so hard on this process and applying and getting it all done. I submitted it, was so nervous and didn't think we would get it. And, a few months go by and I get a call, never forget, from the Parks and Rec director at the time. And he called and said, Brian, congratulations. You guys got the lease. You're going to take over the lease. And, I'm on the phone and I'm like, I'm ready to scream on this thing. I'm so excited. I'm pumped. I've the all-time high. And I'll never forget because right after that, he started to say something and stopped. And I said, no. Tell me what you're going to say. And he's like, well, I don't know if I was going to tell you this, but, I figured I should tell you. You were the only people that actually submitted the application to become the leaseholders. And so I instantly went from being, wow, they chose us, to what did we miss? Like, did we really screw something up here? Is there something that I didn't see? And so here we go. We got a lease, we're committed to it, and we're in whether we like it or not. And so, yeah, now we've got a ballpark, now we've got a team, we've got to start. What the heck do you do from there for someone that had never done that before?
I'll never forget, Brian and I were basically both homeless after Battle Creek because our apartment leases stopped, and then we didn't have an apartment yet in Kalamazoo. So we were like living on mattresses in an apartment right next to the Bomber Stadium that was the sponsor of the team. But we just literally go to the office every day and we're like, all right, what do we got to do? We need to do a team name contest. So, all right, let's figure this out. What are the dates going to be? And when are we going to do this? And, oh yeah, we got to find an apartment in Kalamazoo. And, what could the team names be? And what should our colors be? And man, if we go to sponsors, like, we need a proposal. So like, we got to get going on this. I mean, we would meet in the Battle Creek office and then back in the apartment. And then when we finally moved, from the moment we woke up till probably 10 o'clock at night, it was only the two of us. I mean, we had no one else. We didn't have a designer. We didn't have anyone else. We did everything. So writing the website, we had a friend of ours that was an intern. We were like, hey, like, we didn't pay him. It was like, can you come up with a proposal, like, image, So I mean, we literally did everything, and I'll never forget, building out the site, getting everything done. And then in November was when we actually did the team name unveil. And we had a ton of submissions, and we had the logo there and ready. We did it at the Park District building, and we ended up having like almost like 60, 70 fans came out and saw us do the unveil. Dick flew in town, and it was so exciting because here we are, two kind of young, dumb idiots, not really knowing what we're doing, but we knew early on that, man, people were excited about this, because there was this enthusiasm. They loved the name, and they were buying ticket packages early. So yeah, I mean, him and I kind of did it all together. So
people were excited. It was great. We got a big boost. People loved the logo, liked the name, and we didn't really sell that many tickets. It was like, oh, cool, new team. We like it, but we'll wait and see type of thing, I guess. And so we said, okay, well, we're not getting a lot of people calling in, stopping in, buying tickets or anything. So maybe we'll announce our coach. That'll get people excited. He was one of the all-time leaders in MAC baseball history at Ohio University, and big name in college baseball. We thought, okay, we'll announce our coach. Like, that'll get people excited. Announce our coach. Nothing. No tickets. No excitement. No people coming in. Okay. Players. Okay. Players are going to get people excited. They're the people that are on the field. People get excited around players. We announced our two players from Western Michigan. More crickets. Just nothing. And so after doing these things and kind of doing what a lot of other baseball teams are doing, and the teams up north and the Tigers and everybody, we started realizing we're doing what everyone else is doing, but we're a college baseball team. No one knows us. Like if we're going to do what everyone else does, we're going to get left behind. They have the Tigers, the Whitecaps, the Lansing Lugnuts. Like if we're going to compete against those teams on baseball, we're going to lose.
Well, yeah. Well, I think all along, Brian and I, we knew we're selling baseball, but all along we've had this focus on it needs to be about the wacky, right? So at the time, now we kind of have these things ironed out and systems and director of entertainments and director of funds. But, in the moment, I think the brand really wasn't established of who we were going to be, right? So yeah, I think we did a lot of self-learning about that brand that first year. So again, I always felt confident that people were going to like what we were going to be able to bring rather than just what I had heard in the past. Baseball was kind of, it's baseball, it's this and that. So, but yeah, I mean, when you're starting a team, especially not having the experience before of ever doing that, you just have no idea. And it wasn't. I mean, I remember going to sell sponsorships the first couple of meetings, and it's like, who are you guys again? And what is this? And it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't think we sold our first sponsorship till March, and now, like, knowing what I know, I'd be freaking out, but at the time I was like, yeah, March, we got something. It's like, oh my goodness.
I think we got a little desperate, really, and started just doing things a little differently. We announced a 3,000 calorie donut burger with mac and cheese, and you name it, we put it on this burger, 3,000 calories. We announced it, and we started getting media appearance requests locally, nationally. People started coming in the doors, knocking on. Hey, we're excited. We're going to come to some games. We're going to buy some tickets. Wow, that was cool. People were interested in it. It had nothing to do with baseball. Let's try that again. Let's do something else. And so we announced the first ever Salute to Selfie night. At the time, selfies were big on Instagram and all the things that were growing in the 2014, and we decided to put people's faces on jerseys. We had Sinbad taking his photo, submitting, national people, Good Morning America, and even more people coming in buying tickets, and people started to come in going, wow, you guys are a little crazy. This is fun. This is not baseball,
right? Because yeah, the Bear Claw burger was big. That I remember people thinking, oh, and then we just get we got a lot of attention, and I think that's a lesson I've learned in marketing is like, you can market all day, but if no one's listening, then you're not really marketing to them, right? But you have to first capture people's attention. And if you have their attention, they'll listen to the marketing. So the Bear Claw burger reaction, and then my moment of like, oh my God, people kind of see us differently was the selfie jersey. Because again, at the time, now selfies are huge, but I'll never forget. And I hate doing this, but I have to give Brian credit for most of the big viral ideas, because he was like, man, everyone's telling at the time, Instagram, it kind of, I think, just came out or was really becoming popular. And he's like, yeah, everyone's saying I have to get an Instagram. And I'm like, okay, cool, dude. Like, you're kind of old, boomer. I don't know if you should get that. And so he got it, and he just came in the eye. He's like, so dude, everyone's taking selfies. Like, we got to do a jersey. Fans can submit them. And I'm like, okay, like, sure. Yeah, that's all right. Like, can they even do that? And we put it out there, and it just blew up. I mean, I think, what was it? Sports Illustrated, Fox, they ran a story about it. Fox Sports, retweeted it. I mean, it went all around the country. And then, I mean, even after that, like Purdue put it on their helmets. I mean, I'm not trying to be, pretty humble about this, but I'm pretty confident we were the first team ever in sports to use selfies for like branding and merchandising and marketing purposes. So that was the moment. It's like, okay, gosh, who knows how many tickets we're going to sell or sponsors we're going to sell, but people are paying attention, so that would have been my like, aha,
And so we were not a baseball team. We were a fun team. We had to do everything based on fun and entertainment and what's best for the fan. And if we do that and we do that right, we can create a more fun experience than the Detroit Tigers. We can beat the Tigers at fun. We're not going to beat them at baseball, but we can beat them at fun. And that's every decision we've ever made has been around that. from the stadium improvements, things we've done in the ballpark to renovate the ballpark, to make it more fun, the seats more fun, the sound system to make the games more exciting. Our players, when they come in, we sign players that are fun. That's part of the requirement. So like everything we've done has been around that, and it's everything we're going to be doing moving in the future is going to be based around that.
And I guess my one thing would be, I'm the one that came up with our mission statement, because I said, Brian, dude, we're not just trying to sell baseball tickets. Like, really, our whole mission is we want to use fun to make a difference in people's lives. Like, that's it. And I remember the day telling him that after our first season, he's like, that's it. That's our brand, And so all the bunt training, all our back end kind of mission culture stuff. Like I came up with a lot of that, and then him and I kind of fine tuned that. So I'm kind of the behind the scene, the foundational pieces, and Brian's again always big idea. Let's do this wacky thing,
Yeah, I mean, I've been on Good Morning America for a Twinkie hot dog, and some of these goofy, weird things. But yeah, some of the more impactful things are the things you don't see, on the Coach Drakes and the fun things. They're the community events that we do here, where a nonprofit raises thousands of dollars in one night, and talking to that person after the event and hearing them, how much it means to them and how much that money will go towards their cause. Those are special. The emails I get, the letters I get from people saying, hey, this was the last memory I have with my dad, who passed away this offseason. He loved the Growlers. You don't know how much that meant to us. Those are the things that are really impactful and keep me here late at night and keep our staff here late, because that's really what it's about. I mean, if you're not doing those things and providing the fun and entertainment, but providing a space for people to just create memories and be around family, and the world is digital and video games, and like if you can pause the world, I think that's what this is. This is a pause button for emails, for your phone, for everything else going on. We're the pause button. If you can do that right, you give people a chance to really connect. And so that's what stands out to me.
Well, opening day, we had never done this ever at this stadium, but I will never forget, because that night there's a photo still in our office. It was completely sold out. I mean, it was like 4,000 people. It was crazy. And in the chaos, the game's about to start, and the national anthem, I believe we had someone from American Idol. Like, she was from Michigan and got like 7th place or something, so that was like a big deal for us. And so the everything stops, and this woman starts singing, and I just look, I look around, and it is everyone standing, right, with their son, their daughter, their parents. A community is together in this ballpark, listening to America's song and about to watch this country's pastime together. And I looked around, and I thought, we did this. Like, we made this happen. And I just started crying,
Really?
and it was, I literally, and every day, I'm not making this up. Every opening day since that day, I cannot stop. I cannot not cry at the national anthem. I lose it, because I do the same thing. I look around, and it humbles me of like, hey, this is why you do this. This is why you work this hard. This is why I'm stressing about all these things that could have been better, because I care about fun making a difference. And in that moment, it didn't matter if we were out of hot dogs, right? It was like everyone is really happy, and that makes me happy. And then it was over, and it was like, all right, back to whatever. And I honestly, I couldn't tell you anything that happened opening game. Could not tell you one thing except for that.
Yeah, being the owner of the team is surreal. I mean, starting as an intern, and becoming a general manager, I never thought that would ever happen. I've even had to get special approval from the league because every owner in the league, has these great businesses and are doing all these great things. And, this is something else they do on the side for fun. For me, this is all I do. This is it. It has to work for me. This is my livelihood, my daughter, my wife. I mean, this has to work. The other people want it to work. This has to work. And so, they're scary. I mean, everything falls on you, and there's a lot of responsibility there for the city. It's a city team, but it's exciting to be able to take this where you want to go, and to be able to be there, boots on the ground, to be on the field, to make the memories, to be a part of everything, is why I love this. I mean, you could go to other big league teams and they're so big and it's hard to make an impact. I feel like I can make an impact on a day-to-day basis.
And then I would just say this, I know this is kind of for, Brian had the chance to purchase the team. There's no one that deserves this more than Brian. Brian, I mean, for anybody that owns a business knows that you got to put in so much time, energy, effort, sweat. You can't just do it on your own too. You have to build team and build culture and do it with your customers and your employees. And, Brian has done that for not just 8 years in Kalamazoo, but 3 years before that in Battle Creek. And so I'm just so proud of him. I think the Kalamazoo community should be so excited that they have now a local owner who owns that team and in Battle Creek, who is, I know Brian, he is invested in people. He is invested in making this the coolest thing to do in these communities. And so I'm just so proud for him, for Liz, for your guys' team, for, just not just what he's accomplished to now own his own business, but I know now that he's at the helm running this thing fully, purchased from the league, like it's only getting started. There's just so many more exciting things to come. So he deserves so much credit, and so do you guys. And it's exciting what's going to happen moving forward in Kalamazoo.
I have huge plans and things I want to do here in Kalamazoo for the city, not just baseball, but events and community and for families. So I'm honored to be, I'm so grateful and honored to be in the position. And I definitely realize the responsibility it holds. Sometimes it's like, I can't believe I'm here, and where else are we going to go? That's the fun and scary part of it all.